Hey there, this is Adam Winnig, and welcome to this presentation that's titled There's a New Edge Trading Secret That Almost Anyone Can Use to Potentially Turn $1,000 into a Massive Fortune in 2020. Introducing a completely legal and clever way to make European governments like France, Spain, Germany, and 34 other European Union countries agree to pay your share of a $5.6 trillion per day industry. And I know this is probably not the first time that you've gotten on a webinar or some sort of presentation like this and was learning about different ways to make money. And you heard about a way that you could turn $1,000 into a massive fortune in 2020 and beyond. And you may be skeptical, and if you are, then I completely understand. And the cool part about this presentation is that this is not going to be some theory; it's going to be fact. I'm going to show you bulletproof results. That this actually does in fact work, and it can absolutely work for you as well. Now, the whole goal behind this presentation is to show you a way where you can begin to earn like the big banks do. If you look at this picture, it's pretty accurate, right? Me and you, these hardworking people that literally trade our lives for our money, we go and put our money into a bank, and these banks are taking our money, they're investing and trading with our money, and they're making an absolute fortune. And if we're lucky, we'll maybe get 1% return on that investment per year, even though we're really putting up all of the risk. And so this presentation is really about getting you into power and getting money back into your hands instead of back into the government, into the banking systems, okay? By the end of this presentation, I can almost guarantee you that you'll be laughing at all the other ways that we've been taught how to grow our money in mutual funds or in index funds or in the stock market or in real estate, and you'll be thinking it's pretty comical. I can almost guarantee you that in about 45 minutes, because there is a new way, there's a better way, and you don't have to just take it from me. For example, listen to my buddy Jared Getz, who's one of the most successful entrepreneurs in America.
Hey, what's up guys? Jared Getz here, and I just want to give a shout out to Adam Winnig. I've known Adam for a number of years now, and we've done quite a bit of business, and he's the type of person that I've just always won with. Sometimes you do business with people and you win, sometimes you lose. Me and Adam, we always win. So whenever Adam has something cool to share with me, I'm always excited to hear about it. So Adam started teaching me a little bit about the foreign exchange market, and I figured, why not diversify? Let's just give it a shot. I'll throw some money in. And I put $49,000 into an account about 4 to 5 months ago now. And I show this to all my friends and my family because I tell them they should get in too. I put in 49,000, and today I think it's up to like 95 or 96,000 already. In 4 or 5 months, it's almost doubled, if not doubled. Probably by the end of today, it will have doubled, which is insane because if you invest your money anywhere else, you're never gonna get returns like that. So I just want to give a huge shout to Adam. If you guys are on here watching this or whatever it is, if you're watching this video, you have my support. I think it's amazing what they're doing over there.
Now, because we are going to be talking about money in this presentation, I do need to read this quick disclaimer. Trading foreign exchange currencies as well as using trade software is risky, and you should only trade with money you're willing to lose. Results are not guaranteed, and this is not a solicitation for investment of any kind. One should learn all the risks associated with trading and software trading before getting involved. This presentation is for informational purposes only. Now, how do you know if you're in the right spot? Well, this is for you if you're sick and tired of working for money. If you'd like to have your money work for you instead of you working for money, if you want more time, this is for you. If you're ready to solve the money problem, then this is for you. And if you're just looking for a faster alternative way to grow your money, then this is also for you. Now, my goal for this web class is to ethically persuade you that the fastest way to real financial freedom is through trading, and the only way to trade is with the Edge Trading Secret, which we're going to cover. A quick introduction. My name is Adam Winnig. I've spoken on stage about financial freedom and wealth creation on every continent on Earth, minus Antarctica. I've been featured in some big time publications like you'll see a TV segment from ABC later on, NBC, Huffington Post, Entrepreneur. But my most proud accomplishment is the fact that I've helped thousands of people earn money outside of the system, outside of the generic 9 to 5, and I've helped thousands and thousands of people earn their first dollars online and help them get their money to work for them, which is probably my most important accomplishment, to me at least. Now, it wasn't always like this. I'll tell you, not too long ago, I had a business that had failed. I remember I was in a place of financial uncertainty, and it was not a good place for me. I remember I had no source of income at the time. Every business that I was trying to start was failing. I had made some really poor investments, and I had nothing. And I remember I was living off of my credit cards. Thank God I had room on my credit cards, but I ended up racking up like $60,000 in credit card debt, and I was just stressed out about money. So I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but it can be extremely uneasy. And I remember I'd wake up every morning and I'd be thinking about ways that I could make some money. I'd be frustrated all day because I was broke. And then I'd go to bed and I would still be thinking about money. And I remember this one time I was on my way to church and in my little Honda Accord, and I would drive onto the freeway. And before the freeway, there's this median where there's always these homeless people that were sitting. And I remember they would have these signs, feed me, I'm homeless, or whatever the sign was. And I always try to be a giver, even though I really had nothing at the time. I always tried to be a giver. And I remember looking at these guys thinking like, man, these guys really have nothing, but like when I look at it, I'm $60,000 in the hole. And I remember just night after night of just feeling complete stress and overwhelmed over the topic of finances. And this is actually a picture that I took. Some of you guys will laugh at this, but this is a picture of me in my little closet, and I was literally crying because I felt like I had hit rock bottom. I was completely stressed out, and I didn't know what was to happen next. And it's really interesting. I started putting things together and started to figure a few things out and started making a little bit of money. And I was going to play golf actually in Boca Raton, South Florida. And I actually got paired up with this guy that so happened to be a Wall Street trader, and a very successful Wall Street trader. He had literally traded billions and billions of dollars up in New York. And anyways, we get to talking, and as we're playing this round of golf, I start hearing about his story and whatnot, and I find out this guy's extremely successful, wickedly smart, and I start asking him what he did, and he told me he's a trader, and he told me the story about how one day, like 20 years ago, there was this heating oil trade that he got involved with, and in a single trade, he had made $147 million. And his commission check on that was over $11 million on a single trade. And at that point, that really perked up my ears. I was like, I never met anybody that made that sort of money in a year, let alone a single day in a single trade. That's incredible. And so afterwards, we became friends, and he ended up taking me to the steakhouse. After the round of golf, we really bonded. And I remember I wasn't eating at steakhouses at that time. I remember sitting down and he ordered not only one steak, but he actually ordered 2 steaks. And I remember thinking, I was just like, dang, how cool would it be to be able to just have like whatever I wanted, to have a life without limits. And so I got excited about this idea of trading, and he really inspired me. And so I started doing some research actually into the Forex market, which he had recommended me looking into. Now, some of you guys may be familiar with trading, but maybe not Forex specific. So you're probably familiar with stocks, right? When you buy a stock, you're simply buying a share or a portion of a company. With Forex, which stands for the foreign exchange market, when you buy in the Forex market, you're buying a portion of a country's economy. You're buying their currency, right? So you could have like the euro or the US dollar, the Japanese yen, right? And that's really the difference. It operates similar to the stock market, except for it's gigantic. It's a $5 trillion per day market. Whereas if you look at the stock market in comparison, the US New York Stock Exchange is only $22 billion per day traded. So it's infinitely bigger than that. Now, the best thing that I like about Forex is the fact that you can use leverage, right? In the stock market, you have 1-to-1 leverage. So if you have $1,000 in capital, you have $1,000 in buying power. But the magical thing about Forex is that you can have what's called leverage, where it's kind of like this. You can have 1 to 50 leverage, 1 to 100 leverage, 1 to 500 leverage even, but like 1 to 50 leverage is basically with $1,000, you can buy up to $50,000 worth of a currency, or with 1 to 500 leverage with $1,000, you can buy up to $500,000 worth of a currency. So being able to have this leverage is extremely powerful. And you may have heard the story about this guy named George Soros, who back in 1992, when the exchange rates changed between the Great British Pound and the US dollar, this guy ended up making $1 billion in a single trade. And that sort of opportunity doesn't really exist outside of the Forex market because it's such a gigantic industry and market, and also because you're able to have leverage, okay? Now, my trading experience went a little bit different than that. Here's an actual clip from me on ABC where they're interviewing me about my very first trade, and I think you'll kind of find this funny.
So as you know, millennials are always trying to find a way to make a quick buck, and sometimes they have to turn to this new thing, which we're talking about, the trading world. So joining us now are market hackers Adam and Tyler, and they're here to break all of this down for us. So people that are watching, they may not know what in the world trading is all about, but maybe you can break it down for us.
Yeah, trading is essentially buying and selling different things. You can buy and sell stocks, you can buy and sell cryptocurrency, you can buy and sell different foreign exchange or foreign currencies. And whenever something has value, you can either buy it or you can sell it as well.
So we talk about millennials, and again, they do try to find a way, and we're all millennials as well. So we try to do what we can to get a couple of bucks on the side, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But now people are turning to this for what reason?
I think the biggest reason people are turning into it is millennials are so technologically advanced. We've gone through this entire time of our lives where, you know, I know myself when I was a kid, I was taking apart computers, I was into gadgets, right? And I know that a lot of other kids grew up just like that, and we entered this era where people are now seeing these people online that are living these lives or the laptop lifestyle, and a lot of people are realizing that as things go up in price or inflation, that they need to make more money themselves. Mm-hmm. So like you said, they're turning to side hustles. About 50% of people out there have some form of side hustle, and trading just seems to be one of those ones that I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing in the world, but if somebody can get through the learning curve, it can be one of the most profitable things they could do with their time.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get into it, Adam?
It's actually a funny story. I had a couple friends that were making all this money trading, and they're like, oh, there's this trading guru, and he's got this webinar on Wednesday, and every Wednesday at like 8 a.m. or something like that, oil spikes or oil plummets, and you can make a lot of money trading oil. And so I got all excited about it. I funded my account with like $10,000, and I get on this live webinar with this trading guru, and I click like buy. And over the course of like the next hour, I see my account go like negative 1,000, negative 2,000, negative 3,000. I'll go to the gym and I can't stop checking my phone because I'm like, oh my gosh, I put in $10,000 and I'm losing money. In a matter of 4 hours, I lost $10,000 by simply clicking a button. And so I was all depressed, obviously. I mean, you lose $10,000 in 4 hours. Yeah, exactly. So I end up going to the beach and I'm all sad. And at the beach while I'm sitting there, I have this epiphany. I was like, oh my gosh, I clicked buy and I lost $10,000. If I just would have clicked the other button, click sell, I could have actually made $10,000. So that's what got me excited about trading, was literally with the click of a button, I could either make or I could lose a bunch of money. And if I just had that slight edge, I could turn this into a wealth creation tool for myself.
Now, what makes this so easy? We're attached to these things, our cell phones, mm-hmm. right? I scroll on Instagram for hours a day, Facebook and everything. And part of that is because it's my job. But then another part is I just like to do it. Sure. I'm sure we're all, on social media, influencers and whatnot. That's the new thing. So what is making it so easy for millennials to do this?
I think the easiest thing that's happening right now for millennials is there's all kinds of different resources out there. There's tons of these, gurus, but a lot of them, they let their emotion get in the way of the trading. So we found ways to leverage different technologies such as artificial intelligence that can learn and have no emotion to actually identify breakouts in the markets before things actually are going to occur. And through doing this, it's been able to help tons of millennials actually start getting into trading and not have to follow a guru like Adam did at first and hit the wrong button and lose all his money. Instead, they can actually make that judgment for themselves. Instead of being dependent on some other person, they can be dependent on an actual resource, which is way smarter than us.
So give us some tips for people that may have $10,000 to try and put somewhere, or some people that may have $10 to put somewhere. What can you do and how can that money make money for itself?
Well, I think, first of all, I think that everybody that starts in trading should understand that trading is risky and you can lose money. Like you heard my story, I lost $10,000 and I've lost more money than that trading, and especially at the beginning. So my first piece of advice is that when people get involved in trading is, number one, is start on a demo account. You know, pretty much all of these brokers will offer a demo account where you can actually just trade and begin getting familiar with the platform just with play money, where you're not risking your real money. And then the main thing is just not to get too greedy with it. As long as you can understand proper risk management, then you can keep your account relatively safe. But some people, they get excited that, oh, I clicked a button, I can make all this money, and boom, next thing you know, they lose all your money. So you got to, you just have to be careful with how much you're risking at a time.
Be careful and be smart.
And be smart, yeah.
To touch on that, I think one of the most important things I've ever heard somebody say is Warren Buffett said that the market is designed to take from the inpatient and give to the patient. So like Adam said, stay conservative and don't get greedy. Anytime I've gotten greedy myself and you know everything's going great, it's going great, and then you're like, oh, I can go way bigger. And that's right when it humbles you. You know, it takes you, it punches you in the face and you go, wow. And you learn from it, and I think the best way to learn is actually to lose, believe it or not.
For sure.
Because I bet you don't want to do it again,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that happens to millennials, but we know we're all about it coming to us fast. And sometimes we
sure.
do get the short end of the stick when we do that.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So on our website, we're going to post all of these tips again at firstcoastnews.com. Adam and Tyler, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for sharing all of this advice with us and these tips with us. So we'll be sure to post this online.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
So as you can tell, my first trade, it didn't go very well, but I got excited, right? That epiphany that, holy crap, like if I could have just pushed the other button and I could have made $10,000 instead of losing $10,000. So I went on this long quest to figure out everything that I could possibly figure out about trading Forex successfully. And the reality is there's so much information out there. I got information overload. I mean, in reality, there's so many different gurus saying so many different conflicting things. And I just, at the end of it, kind of felt quite helpless. And it wasn't until I discovered the edge trading secret that everything began to change for me. And this edge trading secret completely changed my life. And that's part of the reason why I'm sharing this with you, is because I know how life-changing this can be for people. Now, because of learning the edge trading secret, things have completely changed for me. I'm able to have enough passive income to pay for all my expenses. I no longer have to work. We didn't have to put together this business or this product. We did this because we wanted to create more impact. But this specific edge trading secret has allowed me to travel all around the world with my girlfriend. We got a place in Miami. We live in California as well. And it's allowed me to have incredible amounts of freedom that I never thought possible, especially at such an early stage in my career. So to be able to actually win at this, you need to understand, well, what does real financial freedom even mean? And if you haven't read Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game, 7 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom, it basically says this: you need to have more passive recurring income coming in than your expenses. So let's take a look at this. So this is how most people think about money, right? Most people think about money like this. We get a job when we're, say, 18 or 20 years old, and we begin the accumulation phase, where ideally, we're saving a portion of each of our paycheck and putting it aside and continuing to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate wealth until we hit this point of critical mass, which is this point where we then begin the decumulation phase, where we begin spending and using our savings or our retirement account and continue to decumulate that critical mass ball, if you will. And the hope and the prayer is to still have enough money before you die, right? And this is how most people think about wealth. But the wealthy people think about wealth a little bit differently. So the wealthy people build a money machine. And that's what you're going to figure out in this presentation, how to build you a money machine that can pay you for life. And here's how it works. Every time you get a paycheck, you set aside a percentage of that paycheck to go towards your money ball or your critical mass, right? And let's say that that's 5% or 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is, the higher percentage you put away, the faster you're going to be able to get to this point of having an effective money machine. So you continue to put aside until you hit this point of critical mass. Once you have critical mass, you invest this money, and once you invest it, you're going to spit off income, and you're going to be able to have income that comes in for life. So just a hypothetical example, let's say you put aside 20% of your paycheck each month into your money machine, and you grow it to a point where there's $1 million eventually in there. And let's say that you can invest it in the stock market and you get 10% a year. 10% of $1 million is $100,000 per year coming in every single every single year. That's going to cover your expenses, and this is how you can be financially free, right? Having more passive income than your expenses are, right? So let's take a hypothetical example. The average American has about $3,000 per month in expenses. So let's break this down, for example. Let's say that you go and you just put this money in your bank, which a lot of us are doing right now, right? Well, the bank, if you're lucky, will give you maybe 1% return on your money, okay? So in order to make $3,000 per month or $36,000 per year, you need to have $3.6 million in your bank account in order to live off the interest, right? Well, let's see if we can do it a faster way. The stock market on average over the past, I think 100 years has performed at about 9.2% per year. If you just invest it in an index fund, which is just a conglomeration of the top 500 companies in America, right? So let's average and say 10% a year in the stock market. At this rate, in order to have $36,000 a year or $3,000 per month, you need $360,000 invested in the stock market at 10%, right? In order to have this money ball where it pays for your expenses, okay? So you may be thinking, well, Adam, how am I ever gonna get to $3.6 million? Or how am I ever gonna get to $360,000? Well, you have to let the power of compounding interest work for you. This is what Albert Einstein said. He said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. This is what the wealthy understand, okay? Have you ever heard that idea or that game? Hey, I'll give you $1 million right now in a briefcase and deliver it to your driveway, or would you rather have a penny? But this penny's magical, and it'll double every day for 30 days, okay? And most people think, oh, I'll take the $1 million right away, right? But look at the penny. Look at what happens. Day 1, it's a cent. Day 2, 2 cents. Day 3, 4 cents. Day 4, 8 cents. Day 5, 16 cents. Even at day 18, it's only $1,300, right? Even at day 22, it's only $21,000. But at the end of day 30, it ends up being $5.3 million. This is the power of compounding interest, and this is the idea, to get compounding interest to work for you, and that's the goal of the presentation, to get compounding interest to work hard for you versus against you. Because I gotta tell you bad news. If it's not working for you right now, it's actually working against you, okay? So back to this idea, right? The money ball, where you wanna cover your $3,000 per month in expenses, right? $3.6 million would be required if you had 1% a year at your bank. $360,000 would be required if you got 10% in the stock market. Or what if there was a better way? What if there's a faster way where you could speed up this process, where it could take you 10 times less time and 10 times less money to get there? What if there's a way that you could get 100% in a year? Well, this is what we call the edge trading secret. And this is why people are speeding up the process faster than ever before to financial freedom, okay? Take a look. I mean, you'll find people that are discovering this edge all the time. I mean, I just was watching this YouTube video of this kid that had clearly discovered the edge, which is, this was a 17-year-old kid that turned 2,800 pounds into 150,000 pounds in 72 hours. Right? He did this by using leverage, and he did this by using the foreign exchange market, and he's clearly found out a concise edge to have an advantage in the market, right? So you may be wondering, well, Adam, I don't know anything about Forex trading, or I heard people lose money trading, or I don't have the time to trade, or I don't have tons of money to trade with. And if you said any of this stuff, then you're going to want to continue with us throughout the rest of the presentation. Because in the next 30 minutes, we're going to show you how you can drastically speed up the financial freedom process using this edge trading secret, okay? So there's 3 secrets. Number 1 is the easiest way that regular everyday people can profit from the world's largest financial market every month. Secret 2 is the low-risk decision tree AI technology that could turn $1,000 into $223,000 in 36 months. I'm going to be showing you a demo of this, so make sure that you stay for that. And secret number 3 is Factor Fairy Tale. Has modern technology discovered a magic bullet that can turn even your grandma in Nebraska into a world-class trader and help her make money hand over fist year after year, okay? So secret number 1, the easiest way that regular everyday people can profit from the world's largest financial market, and this is exactly what the hedge funds and banks have been covering up for years, okay? Now, if you do a quick Google search, you'll see who's the biggest players in the Forex market, and it's likely your bank, right? These banks are taking our money and they're investing in the Forex market, trading in the Forex market, and they're making a fortune, right? So here's how it works, right? Step one is we take our money or your money and you go and you deposit it into a bank, right? The bank then doesn't just sit on that money and wait till you want it again. No, the bank takes your money and it trades it in the Forex market. Okay? The bank then makes gobs of money off of your money and they pay you next to nothing, less than 1% a year most of the time, and you repeat this vicious cycle, right? So what if you could play the game like the banks? And instead of the banks making money off of your money, what if you could make money off of your money? How cool would that be, right? So if you wanted to become a Forex trader in the past, here's what you'd have to do. Well, first of all, you'd have to get some education. So you'd likely need to buy a whole bunch of different courses and invest in some mentorship. You'd likely need to get a nice setup like this where you've got multiple monitors so you can stare at these different screens. You'd probably have to spend anywhere from 3 to 10 years of your life trying to figure out different strategies that actually work. And it's probably going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars in expensive testing and failed results and blown accounts. And it's also going to be taking you pretty much all of your life. Pretty much 8 hours a day staring at these charts and analyzing data. And that's the old way. That's how, the process to become a successful trader used to be, okay? Now, there's a new way, there's a better way, this edge trading secret, which I'm going to disclose to you in just a second. But I have to tell you the story about a time when I met this hedge fund coder who shared his secret with me, okay? Now, this guy is interesting. He's brilliant. He's one of the most brilliant people that I've ever met. He's basically been coding Forex algorithms since he was 10 years old, okay? And he's actually been banned from multiple brokers for using them like an ATM machine. He now considers himself an algo trader or a quant, which is basically a fancy name for a quantitative analyst. And basically what he does now is he creates complex algorithms for hedge funds so that way they can have an edge over the market. Okay. And he told me this. He said, Adam, if you want to be a consistently profitable trader, you have to follow a set of clearly defined rules. If you cannot clearly define your rules, then you're trading on emotion. And if you trade on emotion, you will eventually blow up your account and lose your money. So if your trading plan actually follows clearly defined results, then it should work the same when it's automated. And I had this huge aha moment. I was like, holy crap, all these trading books that I've been reading, all these courses, all these gurus, they've all been saying, you need to trade like a robot. You need to be able to follow rules. You need to be able to be disciplined, which is really interesting, which is cool. But what if there was a way that we could automate the process? Now, introducing artificial intelligence. We've taken it to the next level by using artificial intelligence that is unparalleled. And I'll explain to you why this makes it different than anything else that you've probably seen on the market. But before, this is a buzzword. A lot of people don't really know what AI actually is or what its purpose is. So I want you to see this quick clip of Tony Robbins actually interviewing Sophia, who is an artificial intelligence.
Sophie, tell me, thank you for coming. Tell me, what is your purpose in being? What were you created for?
Of course. I was created by Hanson Robotics just 3 years ago. Since then, I have traveled to 65 countries, become the first robot citizen of any country, and spoken at the United Nations. My job is to learn about humans and show them how technology can make everyone's lives better.
And how can you help humans to have a better quality of life?
Humans often rely on gut feel or have confirmation bias in their decision making. As AI, we are designed to be rational and logical. We have algorithms, deal with lots of data and sophisticated analyses. So in many ways, we provide a systematic framework for humans to make better decisions.
Pretty crazy video, right? And some of the richest, most successful people in the world, like Elon Musk or Jack Ma, the richest man in China, they're saying that AI will impact society as much as the internet did. And I believe it. Now, trading with AI or artificial intelligence is kind of like playing the video games with the cheat codes, right? And this is the same technology that's being used by banks, hedge funds, and the super rich, right? And now it's starting to leak to the public. I mean, look at this article on Forbes, the revolutionary way using artificial intelligence in hedge funds, right? This is Business Insider. Wall Streeters say AI is going to disrupt their business more than any other tech. Many big investors are getting left behind. This was a TED Talk talking about how basically AI traders will dominate hedge fund industry. And this is a reality. Some of the highest paid people in the world, which are hedge fund traders, are now being replaced by sophisticated technology such as artificial intelligence. So let me ask you a question. Would you like the hard way where you got to spend tons of money and years of your life and extreme amounts of emotional stress? Would you like to figure that all out for yourself, or would you like the easy way? Would you like the edge trading secret? Would you like to learn how you could use artificial intelligence? Okay, probably the easy way, right? Now take a look at this video from a friend of ours named Yuya. It's really interesting. He has been a manual trader himself, and he's also used artificial intelligence to trade as well.
I put $4,500 in, and within 8 weeks, I'm at $14,000 in my account. So I literally made about almost $10,000 in profit. And the reason why I love the system is because I used to be a day trader, and being a day trader was very stressful because even though I was profitable, I wasn't making anywhere near the amount I'm making right now. And I was going through a lot of mental stress because when you're day trading, you're manually trading on your own. So you go through a lot of emotions. And the one thing that the markets want you to do is to put your emotions in there because that's how they take your money. So using this AI has allowed me to take my emotions out of the game and just watch this system and this software work magically and beautifully for me. And I believe that it's perfect for anyone that wants to capitalize on a $5.2 trillion market, that basically has that amount of money flowing every single day. And the beautiful thing about Forex is that you can leverage your money. And leveraging is one of the most powerful tools out there. So this AI system and Forex combined together is honestly a trader's dream come true.
This was another message that we got from Yuya. You can see this was really awesome. He had made nearly $4,000 in a day, and he shows us this results all the time. He says, I've been having these kind of days lately. He's been absolutely killing it, all because he's discovered the edge, right? He's really got the edge. But it doesn't just work for Yuya. I mean, this is Sophie from California. She's a single mom. She's a cancer survivor. She's a waitress. This is her little baby girl. But you can see this was with another AI that we were using previously, and she's been able to do really, really amazing, right? She's been able to grow her money by 10% per month, and you're just not going to do that anywhere else. At least I haven't seen it anywhere else, right? This is Sean from Minnesota. He's an orthodontist. He's a husband. He's a father. You can see he's been able to grow his account by like 8% per month, which is really, really awesome. You may be wondering, can this work for me? Well, this is Grandpa. This is Grandpa Joe, actually. You can see him somewhere in the center here. He has 34 grandkids. These are all his grandkids. And you can see even him, he doesn't have a lot of tech experience or trading experience whatsoever, and he's been able to grow his account consistently, and he's done really, really well with this, okay? So you can totally do this. If you're an expert trader, this is gonna be amazing for you. If you've never traded in your life, this is gonna be a huge blessing to you. If you have $1 million to trade with, you're gonna be thanking me, and if you only have $500 to trade with, you can also be successful with this system. Okay, so that's secret number one, the easiest way that regular everyday people can profit from the world's largest financial market every month. And again, this is exactly what the hedge funds and banks have been covering up for years. Okay, secret number two, the low risk decision tree AI technology that could turn $1,000 into $223,000 in 36 months, and how average people are using it to join the new rich in record breaking time. Now, AI has completely changed my life. It's allowed me to live a level of freedom that I never thought possible. It's allowed me to accelerate my wealth creation process by 10 times faster than I ever thought possible, at least. And I kind of felt like it was my moral obligation to share this with humanity. My background actually before I was in trading was in marketing. And so my passion is really getting life-changing products that I think can help people and help humanity and getting it out to the world. So I felt a moral obligation to share this with other people. Again, when we found this technology that I'm going to show you in just a second, we thought we could just use this for ourselves. We can make boatloads of money, but we didn't do that. I mean, sure, we are using it ourselves, obviously. But also we felt like, hey, you know what? We could actually make an impact in the world by sharing this with other people. And so we went on this quest. I was using some AI trading software previously, and it was good, but we saw some flaws in it, and we wanted the absolute best AI trading software that we could find anywhere. And pretty much for 5 months of our lives, me and my two partners spent every day interviewing different coders, different programmers. We literally did hundreds of thousands of different simulations on so many different softwares to try to find the absolute best. And we got to this point, I remember, where I was sitting there and I remember I was telling my girl, I thought, I think our standards for what we want out of this AI trading software is too high. I don't think it actually exists in the marketplace. And I was about ready to give up on the project. And I remember telling that to my girl, and it was the very next day we met this brilliant coder on this random website that he never even really checks on. And we start to chat and we become good friends. And he shows us some of the stuff that he'd been developing for a couple of funds up in Canada and in Europe, and some people in Hong Kong as well, and it absolutely blew our mind. And that's what I want to introduce you to. Is this called Titan? And Titan is incredible. It is different than anything else that I've personally seen on the market, and there's a few reasons. Well, number one is that it uses advanced decision tree AI. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, that means that instead of just using one trading strategy, like most trading softwares do, this trading software will use 100 different proven strategies, okay? So it will gather and it'll store data, and it's simultaneously in the background running 100 different simulations of different strategies and seeing which strategies are winning at this point in the marketplace and what strategies are losing at this time in the market, and it will only select the few strategies that are actually winning at the time, and it will continuously do this every single day. It's analyzing strategies and deciding, that's why we call it decision tree AI, on which strategy you should actually employ, which is just incredible. It's fascinating. It's beautiful. And to give you an idea, most trading softwares are like 2,500 to 5,000 lines of code. This is 500,000 lines of coding. And the thing that makes this also unique is there was an AI module that was used to build Titan, which could run 60 million different simulations at a time. And our developer has been offered millions and millions of dollars for this technology. It's quite incredible. So here's how it works. It's so simple. Number one is you're going to open a brokerage account. That just gives you access to the Forex market. That's going to allow you to trade on the Forex market. You can use a demo account, which is play money. It'll work just like the real market does. Or you can use live money, real money, to trade with. Second thing is you just take Titan and you attach it to the charts. You literally just drag it. We traded on the Euro US dollar on the 1 hour time frame. And then you just start trading. You input your settings. You say, how risky you want it to be basically, or how aggressive or conservative you want it to be. And then it starts trading on the way that you set up these settings, okay? Now, this is probably one of my favorite quotes from a book called Naked Forex, which is one of my favorite trading books of all time. It says this. It says, the very successful traders who are consistently finding profits in the market, who are trading for a living, they all share one characteristic. They backtest their systems. They backtest their systems. They backtest their systems. Confidence is only available to traders who have backtested extensively. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, backtesting is just a way to run your system over historical data. So I'm actually going to hand this over. You're going to watch a quick clip from our head of research and development. His name is Joe Hicken. He's spent so much time doing these different simulations and backtests on, so many different softwares I can't even tell you. So let's go ahead and let's actually take a look at this clip right now.
Hey guys, my name is Joe Hicken, and I'm super excited to show you guys a backtest of Titan. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running the software through historical data. The dates that I have set here is March 1st, 2019 through April 1st, 2019. And what's cool is this is actually exactly what was going on in the market during that time. Now, I know this is only a month's worth of data, but for time's sake, we'll be able to look at this visually, and then I'll show you guys 3 years worth of backtested data after this. So just to let you guys know, I've tested probably 100 different EAs, and I've done thousands of these backtests. And I can tell you, Titan is on a completely different level. Titan has been absolutely incredible. The results that we've gotten are insane, and what this backtest is going to allow us to do is to understand better of how it works, so we can kind of comprehend more of what's going on. And it's also just going to show you what's really possible, what can be accomplished with this software. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and press play here. And you'll notice right away, Titan is getting in and out of trades. Now, you might be wondering, what are these green and red lines? Essentially, the green lines are market entries. points. So where the green line is, that's either a sell or a buy trade being placed. And then the red lines, those are exit points. It's either a take profit target or a stop loss, where if price moves past that line, it's going to basically close the trade and take the profit. Or if it goes against you, then it will hit the stop loss and will close in a loss. And that's actually a common misconception in trading, that the goal is to win every single trade. That's definitely not the case. In fact, I don't know anyone who's been able to do that. But what I can say is that one of the things I really, really like about this software is the heavy focus on risk management. And that's really what's most important, even more than the profitability, is the system's ability to manage risk and keep your account safe. So with that being said, you may have noticed this user interface up here in the top left corner, and you'll notice the account balance here, it's fluctuating up and down, up and down. And that's quite normal. A lot of people are used to like their savings account at their bank, right? And this is much different. This is going to fluctuate up and down, and it just takes getting a bit of getting used to. But the goal is not to just win the short term, but it's to win over time. And so you really got to look at these results from a month-to-month perspective. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end here. And you can see the other thing this is showing you is that we've won 81% of our trades so far. So it's been about 3 weeks. Our account has grown from $1,000 to $1,312. So that's like a 31% return. We've won 81% of our trades. And this also will show you what trades you're in. So how many buy trades, how many sell trades. It's a little bit hard to see because it's transparent. But yeah, with that being said, I want to show you guys the graphical representation of what progressed throughout the month here. So as you can see, there's periods of growth and there's periods of what I like to call stagnation. And these periods of stagnation, you can think of it as the EA really working to protect your account. When things get kind of crazy and unpredictable, what the EA will do is it'll actually, and I say EA, sorry, that means like trading robot. The system, it works to protect your account and keep your account safe. So you'll notice there's periods of growth and periods of stagnation and periods of growth. But let's look at the result or the report here and see what the results are. So the initial deposit was $1,000 and the total net profit ended up being $480. So that's a 48% gain in a period of just 1 month. And the most amazing part about that is the drawdown. So if you're not familiar with drawdown is essentially kind of like risk. And so if you look at this, we only risked 9.7% of our account in order to gain 48%. So absolutely incredible. But again, not every month is going to be like this. So I want to take you over here and show you kind of broader 3 years worth of back-tested results. So as you can see here, the monthly gain was 23.59%, really, really good. And the drawdown was only 23%. Now, I just want to clarify, this drawdown, this is talking about the maximum drawdown or the maximum risk over the entire 3 years. So at any given point when drawdown increases, it'll record the maximum. And so over 3 years, the max drawdown was only 23%. It only risked 23% of your account over these last 3 years in order to make 23% monthly profits, which is really, really good. The other thing to notice is the average trade length. You can see here, this software gets in and out of trades very quickly. The average trade length is only 8 hours and 60 minutes. And what a lot of other systems do is they actually will hold on to trades for a long period of time, and you'll start to see bigger and bigger drawdowns, which actually ends up being very, very risky. And not only that, but you're also going to be accumulating fees from your broker for holding trades over such a long period of time. But this robot was specifically designed to get in and out of the market quickly and avoid all that. You can also see here, this won 73% of buy trades and 75% of short trades over 3 years on average, which again is really, really good. And then if we come down here and we look at the monthly statistics, you can see that here in 2017, we only had 1 losing month, which is absolutely incredible. Some of these top funds and firms like Goldman Sachs, for example, they report occasional quarterly losses. But you can see this system has been extremely profitable every single month except for this month of January here. Same thing in 2018, very consistently profitable. December we had a down month, and then 2019 was really one for the record books, I would say. Really, really good results, over 10% profit every single month, and not a single losing month. So the only other thing I want to point out, guys, is the settings. So the nice thing about Titan is it's very, very easy to use. It was designed to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, where all you have to do is load it onto your chart. And most people actually don't even change the settings. You can just leave it on the default settings, which is actually this. Right here is where you can control the risk of how much you want to risk per trade. And this is kind of the overall risk that you can set for your account. So in this case, this is saying it's only going to risk 0.5% for each trade, 0.5% of your account balance for each trade. In other words, you could lose 10 trades in a row and you've only lost 5% of your account. And with a 75% win ratio, that's very unlikely to happen. But even if it does, you're still going to be doing very good. So that's very powerful. The other thing you can do is you can actually make this more conservative, and you can lower your risk to, say, only risking 0.25% or 0.25% of your account balance per trade. And so again, if you lost 10 trades in a row, then you'd only have lost 2.5% of your account, which is really, really good risk management. So, and then I also have these results to show you as well. Over the last a 3-year backtest using the more conservative 0.25% risk per trade, and you can see still it came out with a amazing 12% profit, and the drawdown was only 11.92% max. So there was only, it never, over the last 3 years, it never got higher than 11.92% in this backtest. And you can see the same average trade length and very similar win and win ratios as well. So that being said, really, really excited for you guys to get your hands on this system. Again, this is on a totally different level, from the artificial intelligence to the decision trees, technology, to the risk management, which in my eyes is the most important. This is truly something incredible, and can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it.
So again, like you saw in the back test, this is the low risk where you're only risking 0.25% per trade. That means on $1,000 account, you're only risking $2.50, right? And you can see in this simulation over real historical data since January 1st of 2017, it took a $1,000 account and grew it into $71,000. The monthly was about 12% monthly gain, and the drawdown was about 12%. What does that mean? Again, the drawdown is simply the most that your account was at risk over the course of these 3 years, which is amazing, right? Okay, to put this into real numbers for you, over this period of time, had you have invested $1,000 or had you started trading with $1,000, it would have turned into $71,363. Had you started with $2,500, it would have turned into $178,000. Had you started with $10,000, it would have turned into $713,000. Had you started with $25,000, it would have turned into nearly $1.8 million over the course of this 3-year period in this back test that we just showed you. Okay, now here's moderate risk. For example, this is you're only risking 0.5% per trade, which again, on a $1,000 account, you're only risking $5 at a time, which again, if you, we're doing that, you'd have to lose 200 trades in a row in order to blow your account, which is just, it's highly unlikely, right? And you can see the monthly here, it did 23% per month, and the drawdown was only 23%, which means the max your account was ever at risk over the course of these 3 years, which is really quite impressive. And here you can see high, moderate, and low, right? So high is considered risking 1% per trade, moderate is risking 0.5% per trade, and low is considered risking 0.25% per trade. And you can see the monthly, daily, and the maximum drawdown throughout these periods. It's really, really impressive, right? So I want you to hear this. Actually, this is from a friend and a client of ours. His name's Paul Sager. He's just hilarious. He's a real life rock star. So forgive us for his rock star language. Paul, one second. So this is Paul. I set him up on our software last night, and I just texted him. I said, "Hey, how's your account doing?" Let's see what he says. Paul, talk to me.
Dude, I mean, are you fucking serious? Did it make like $1,000 in a day?
Is that what it did? I don't know. You tell me.
Dude, that's what I'm fucking seeing.
Yeah, man.
Wow, you found the promised land, didn't you, brother?
I think so.
Jesus Christ, dude.
How you doing?
Dude, you're fucking awesome, man. Wow. I'm glad I'm following a leader like you, brother. I mean it, man. Wow. Amazing.
Here's what Tyler Jacobs is saying about it. He said, "You are a monster. The software is insane. Up 16% in less than 72 hours. Once these trades close, I'll be up closer to 20%. Obviously, he's running it a little bit more risky, but you can see the results are just astonishing. People are absolutely loving it. Josh Lohman says, he says $10 million is way too low. The big dogs might pay over $1 billion just to keep something like this off the markets, and I'm not joking. Seriously though, right? Has your account been killing it? Yes, I'm up $1,000 in a week, and this is the reality. I mean, our developer has offers from major banks and hedge funds for literally millions and millions of dollars to be able to buy this software from him. So it just validates how real this is and how awesome this is. This was actually in our support chat. By the way, we have live chat support on our website. So if you have any questions, you can go to blueedgefinancial.com and you can ask questions there. But he says, hey, this software is seriously the best. Who do I got to kiss? Tell everyone over there I love them. He says, I'm up 15% on risky settings since Friday at 2 p.m. It's been running 1% risk. So he's doing 1% risk per trade, right? This is Jeffrey Rodriguez. He says he has a $50,000 live account and he's about to have a $2,000 day, which is imagine that. Imagine getting up to a level where you stocked away as much money as Jeffrey and you're having $2,000 days. What would that be like to be able to wake up and you roll over out of bed and you check your trading app on your phone and you make $2,000. Imagine the level of freedom that you could have. I mean, imagine how comforting that would feel. Imagine how free you'd feel at that point, right? So what would this be worth to you, right? This could probably be worth thousands and thousands of dollars to some of you every single month, right? So here's some of the common questions. Is it easy to get my money out of the software? The answer is yes. You can just simply withdraw it. A lot of brokerages offer a wire transfer of Bitcoin you can withdraw it with. And we as a company, we don't touch any of your money. We're not an investment company. We're simply a software and education company, okay? So we don't hold it. You don't put the money into our software. It's all between you and your broker. You can withdraw it anytime that you want. You can do it once a month. You can do it once a year. You can do it once a week, once a day. It doesn't matter. It's completely up to you. What's the minimum amount that I can use with this Titan software? Well, you could use whatever amount that you want, really. Most of our successful clients start with at least $1,000. Okay, what makes this different from other trading robots? A few things. Number one is how the decision tree AI technology works. Two is the fact that it uses an AI module that runs over 60 million different trading simulations in order to create Titan. And three is the way that it manages money. Okay, it only allows you to risk a certain percentage of your account per trade, which helps keep your account safer. Okay. Will I need to do anything? And the answer is yes. You do need to go through the setup process, which is really easy. We're actually going to send you a free Edge Trader t-shirt. When you do it, walk you through it step by step by step. It should only take you, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes to an hour to set it all up. And then each day, you'll just want to check on it once per day. Just make sure everything's running smoothly. Okay. So who else thinks that Titan is awesome? It's pretty amazing, right? Like it is quite an amazing piece of technology. So that's secret number two, the low risk decision tree AI technology that could turn $1,000 into $223,000 in 36 months. And how average people are using it to join the new rich in record breaking time. Secret number three, Factor Fairy Tale. Has modern technology discovered a magic bullet that can turn your grandma in Nebraska into a world-class trader and help her make money hand over fist year after year. And I get it. Like, if this is the first time that you're hearing about AI trading technology or trading softwares, you may be very skeptical, and I get it. I mean, of all people, I was extremely skeptical when I first started hearing about this, that there was some trading robot or fancy software that could trade my money on my behalf based on the way that I set up the settings, and I don't have to enter and exit the trades and deal with all the emotional stuff. I get it. I was completely skeptical until I started using some of this technology and started seeing the benefits of it for myself. And then I started to become a believer, right? And I now, this has allowed me to create a level of freedom, like I said, that I've never thought would be experienced possible. I mean, you could join our Facebook group. You can see all the people that are raving about what this is doing for them. But yes, I understand if you are skeptical, that is completely fine. And that's why we recommend just try it, okay? It doesn't hurt you to try it, okay? And you may be thinking, well, Adam, why have I never heard of this? And the answer probably is the same reason why you don't see a lot of Rolls-Royce commercials on TV, right? Rolls-Royce understands their client avatar, and their client avatar is, usually a wealthy businessman, and they understand that these people are likely not watching a whole lot of television, so they don't really advertise there, right? With technology like this, it's normally only advertised to like hedge funds and banks, okay, and really big time traders. And so that's probably why you haven't heard of this technology yet. We were able to form a relationship with like I mentioned, a fund coder that we actually ended up getting the software from that's now partners of ours. And that's the reason. That's the whole mission behind this. He saw that we actually had good intentions, that we actually wanted to help people, and that's why he decided to partner with us. Okay? Now, it doesn't hurt to try it. Okay? I'm going to show you how you can try this risk-free, but it does hurt to wait. Take a look at this. This is the power of compounding and the power of time. Brittany and Brandy both invest $500 per month at a 7% annual return. Okay, Brittany is she invests for 20 years, and at the end of those 20 years, her investment has grown to $261,000. Brandy invests for 40 years, and her investment grew to $1.3 million. So Brandy only invested 2 times as long, but she got 5 times as much money. And that's the power of compounding. Again, if it's not working for you right now, it's actually working against you, okay? So what have we covered so far? We've covered these 3 secrets. The easiest way that regular everyday people can profit from the world's largest financial market every month. We've also covered the low-risk decision tree AI technology that could turn $1,000 into $223,000 in 36 months. And I just talked to you about Factory Fairy Tale. Has modern technology discovered a magic bullet that can turn even your grandma in Nebraska into a world-class trader and help her make money hand over hand year after year? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could become successful if you had access to this technology, Titan, and the edge trading secret? Do you think you could become successful? Probably, right? Now, is it okay if I just spend like a couple minutes talking about a special offer that we put together where we can help you get access to Titan and a bunch of other cool stuff also with it? Okay, if that's okay, then I'll just continue. If it's not, then please just exit out of this window and you don't have to hear me talk anymore. But I think you're going to like this, okay? So here's what you're going to get. Number 1 is you're going to get access to Edge Trading Academy. Now, Edge Trading Academy is the most comprehensive Forex trading course that's anywhere. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it's effective, and it's all broken down into tiny little videos that are only like 2 to 5 minutes long. And at the end of each little module, there's a quiz to help you retain this information. Look, I went through and I studied a ton of different courses. I bought a ton of different books. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to figure this out for myself. This is the information that you need to know. If you're a complete Forex trading newbie, if you don't know any of the lingo, if you've never traded before in your life, go through this system. You can do it in the matter of like 10 hours if you watch it at 2x speed like me. In the matter of 5 days, you can learn pretty much everything that you need to know about 5 hours. In the matter of 5 hours, you can learn pretty much everything that you need to know in order to trade in the Forex market. And also, we're going to be shipping you an Edge Trader t-shirt for free as soon as you go through this, okay? So, inside of Edge Trading Academy, you're going to get cheat sheets, you're going to get calculators, animated videos, these little mini quizzes, proven strategies. It's literally going to compress decades into days for you, okay? And you can see what other people are saying about Edge Trading Academy. This is Kirsten. She's saying she had to watch Module 5 3 times. So much new info that makes my trading already so much easier. I really have to study, so it's good for my brain. I'm loving it. You're an excellent teacher. You guys are truly amazing. I appreciate all you're doing here to help us behind the scenes, support us, and give us tools that can change our financial lives. She says, seriously, you guys would not give all this trading information that you have all earned with many hours and years of hard earned time, patience, and a life-changing opportunity if you didn't care. You all have success, and what makes this company top-notch and stand alone is that you make others have the choice as well. Right. One of the things that I love most about Edge Trading Academy is the bank secret indicator. It's a leading indicator. It's not a lagging indicator. That means that it's an indication of what price is likely to do. And the problem with most people when they get started trading is they're trading against the most sophisticated people in the world. They're trading against big banks. They're trading against big hedge fund guys, some of the smartest people in the world, and they're trading against the smart money. So what the bank secret indicator does is it helps identify where the smart money is trading and allows you to have an edge over the competition. So instead of trading against them, you'll actually be trading with them, okay? And you may be thinking, well, Adam, could I just learn this for free on YouTube? And you probably could. It's probably going to take you 10 times longer to learn it. We've put it all compact and concise for you. And plus, there's a lot of phony gurus on YouTube that have conflicting advice, and a lot of people just want your money. They don't actually want to help you, and they're not actually really getting results as well. So I wouldn't recommend it. The other thing is you may be thinking, Adam, I don't have the time to learn this whole Forex thing, and the cool part about it is that you can use net time. Net time stands for no extra time. You could do it while you're on the treadmill walking. You could do it while you're driving your car. You could do it while you're exercising or whatever, you can plug it in, you can listen to it on your phone, and that way you're not using any extra time, and you could learn a valuable skill set that could pay you for the rest of your life. Okay? So here's what you're gonna get. The Edge Trading Academy, this is valued at $497. Next, as a free bonus, this is the cool part about it. When you become a member of Edge Trading Academy, you're gonna get Titan, the AI trading technology that we've been talking about. You're gonna get this for free, okay? How cool is that, right? Now, you can imagine that creating this was not cheap and it was not easy. Just the AI module to run the 60 million simulations at a time to create Titan. I mean, this took over 4 years of development, and I mean, you guys can probably imagine the cost is insane, okay? Now, what Titan's gonna allow you to do is it's gonna allow you to get rid of the stress of trading and to help you get results even faster than if you were to try to trade manually by yourself. And I wish I would have had this when I first got started. It would have saved me a ton of emotional battles as well as a ton of lost money that I had lost, okay? Again, it's simple to use. You open a brokerage account, you attach Titan to the charts, you select the risk, and then it'll begin trading. Okay, remember these results? This is just risking 1/4% per trade. You saw what happened. Turned $1,000 into $71,000 in this simulation. Risking 0.5% per trade, turned $1,000 into $2.4 million in this specific simulation over the course of 3 years, right? Now, don't just take my word from it. Take what other people are saying. This is Tara. She has absolutely no training experience whatsoever. She's actually a designer and a stylist before, and this has been able to help her a ton. So just give her a listen real quick.
Hi guys, my name's Tara. I met Adam about 2 years ago, and I was just so amazed by his lifestyle. He was able to travel and work from anywhere in the world, do all the things that he loves. That was just such a foreign concept to me at the time, because I was working 40 hours a week, and if I ever wanted to travel or take a weekend off, I'd have to ask my manager. And it was stressful. So long story short, Adam put me on this software called Titan, and it's forever changed my life. I've been making enough money to be able to quit my job as a stylist at Zadig & Voltaire. And just this morning, I woke up to a $500 day, and it's just mind-blowing, because I wouldn't make that much working 10 hours a day. So I'm forever grateful to this technology and Adam for introducing it to me. I would recommend this software, this technology, to anyone. I've told my friends and family about it. They're loving it. So everyone, I think everyone deserves to live like this freely. So go ahead and give it a shot. There's nothing to lose.
This is what Matthew's saying. He's saying this software is so good. I've never seen anything like it in 7 years of trading. Dan McCall, first week of results with Titan, and basically what happened, he was risking 1% of his account per trade, and you can see his account had already grown by 22% nearly in 9.84% drawdown, which was the max his account was ever at risk, which is really, really good. This is Jason O'Neill. Also, he's a successful entrepreneur and business owner. He says, this almost seems unfair. $4,100 since last night. I go, really? He says, yeah, I can't believe it. It's one thing to see the back test, and it's another thing to experience it live. It goes against everything we ever hear in our life. And it was all because he had the courage and the faith to actually try it, okay? Now, what would this be worth to you guys, right? This could be worth thousands of dollars every single month, okay? And again, the cool part about it is that you don't have to risk your own money. If you're like kind of skeptical, or if you're not sure if this is actually gonna work, just open up a demo account, okay? All of your brokers will have a demo account option. You'll be able to try this with just play money. So that way you're not risking your real money, but it will trade exactly like it would trade in the live market. Okay, so here's what you're gonna get: Edge Trading Academy and Titan, which is valued at $297 a month. There's a total value of $794. You may be thinking, well, what else do I need? Well, the last thing that you need is a VPS. It stands for a virtual private server. It's basically a cloud-based supercomputer. It's this way you can run your Titan software 24/7 even when you're away. Now, the keys behind this is the fact that it'll allow you to execute trades in as fast as 5 milliseconds. Okay. The other thing is it'll allow you to execute trades 24/5. The market's open 5 days per week, 24 hours per day. And as long as you have your VPS up and you have Titan set up on your VPS, then it'll continue to take trades even if your laptop or your computer is closed. You could chuck your computer into a lake and it's still going to trade. okay? That's the cool part about it. Now, don't worry if you're like, VPS, what is that? Virtual supercomputer? Don't worry. We're going to set this up for you. You don't need to have an expensive computer. You could do this at a library computer. You could even set this up on your phone, and it's not going to take up storage or slow down your device, which is cool. It's all based in the cloud, so it doesn't have to take up any space on your computer, slow it down, okay? So here's what you're going to get. The Edge Trading Academy, Titan, and you're also going to get the VPS, which is valued if you get one. Anywhere. It's $27 per month. We're going to give it to you for free when you become a member of Edge Trading Academy. That's a total value of $821. Now, I got to ask you this question. If all this did was finally get you into the right vehicle so you could speed up the process to financial freedom, would it be worth $821? Probably, right? If all this did was give you access to AI technology that could make trading easy, would it be worth $821? Probably, right? And if all this did was allow you to earn enough so you no longer had to work, would it be worth $821? Definitely, right? So we had two choices when we were creating this. Number one is we could keep this R to ourselves and we could make a lot of money just for ourselves. And we could offer this to just ultra high net worth individuals that maybe had $50,000 or $100,000 to get started, right? That was one option that we considered. But the second option was to create this business and take on all the headaches and stress and yada, 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 but actually make a difference in the world. And that's what we decided to do. So let me ask you this. What is this actually worth to you anyways? Is this worth $500 a month to you? Is it worth $1,000 a month to you? Is this worth more than that to you? How much would you pay for technology like this and access to a skill set that could change your financial life? Okay, you can probably see why this is a really good deal at $821. And at $497, this would be an absolute steal. But because we believe everyone deserves prosperity, you can get started for only $147 per month by just clicking the button here below right now, and it'll take you to an order page and you can get all set up. You may be thinking, Adam, why are you offering this for only $147 per month? Like, you could sell this for millions and millions of dollars to hedge funds and Wall Street traders and all these sort of guys. And the answer is the reason we're doing this is because we truly want to make an impact. We truly believe that everyone deserves prosperity. And this is something that's changed our lives. And we want to get it into as many hands as people as possible, just regardless of their financial situation. And the reason we're also doing this is because we know that if we can let you try it for just $147, that you're going to be a customer for life and you're going to use it month after month after month for the years to come. Okay, so that's our evil plan, right? So how much do I need to start with in order to cover the $147 a month payment, right? That's the big question is, I need to cover this payment. How am I going to be able to do that? Well, the answer is this, is it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money you start with. Take this example, for example. This is Theodore Johnson, who worked for UPS. He never made more than $14,000 in a year. So I don't care what your situation is. And yet, in his old age, he was worth more than $70 million. And he never earned more than $14,000 in a year. When he had no money to save, a friend of him told him that if he were taxed, the money would be taken out of his account and he'd never see it. So he created a tax for himself to make him wealthy. Even though he had little money, he took 20% of the money he made and it went straight into an investment account. Over more than 5 decades, that compounded to make him $70 million. So I don't care if you're only making $14,000 a year. I don't care if you're not making enough money to cover the software costs. You have to look at the power of compounding and what this can do for you over time. Okay? So at this point, you have two choices. Number one is do nothing and let the power of compounding fight against you. Or two, take this tiny leap of faith, which, by the way, if you don't love it, you don't pay for it, okay? The cool part is you can try this for 30 days. Sign up today. You could try it on a demo account, so you're not even risking your live money. And if you don't like it for whatever reason, if you don't think this is the most amazing system in the world, then just let us know and we'll give you your money back. Look, this isn't going to change our lives, okay? You becoming a customer or client, it's not going to change our lives, but this will change your life. It absolutely can change your life like it's done for so many people, okay? So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, even if it only does half of what it's done for countless others, can pay for itself within the first few days, okay? So just go ahead, click the button below on this page, and it'll take you to an order page. You just fill that out, you create your account, and you'll be able to start using the software and the Edge Trading Academy immediately. So again, here's what you're gonna get. Edge Trading Academy, Titan, and the VPS or supercomputer. It's a total value of $821, okay? For only $147 today. Now, 2 special bonuses when you get started in the next 48 hours. 2 special bonuses. Number one, let me ask you a question. What are your 2 biggest expenses? What are your 2 biggest expenses that you have in life? okay? Your second biggest expense that you'll ever have is taxes. You'll pay 51% on every dollar that you earn to the government. Now, let me explain that to you, okay? That means that you're spending 51 cents out of every dollar in taxes, $5.10 out of every $10 to taxes, $51 out of every $100 you're spending in taxes, $510 out of every $1,000 you'll spend to the government, $5,100 out of every $10,000 will be spent in taxes, $51,000 out of every $100,000 will be spent in taxes, and $510,000 out of every $1 million that you earn will be paid in taxes. Okay, and you may be thinking, well, Adam, that don't make sense because I don't pay that much in taxes. Well, look at this. What is it called when you earn the money, right? That's called income tax. What is it called when you buy something? That's called sales tax. What is it called when you sell it for more than you bought it? That's called capital gains tax, right? What is it called when you own it? That's called property tax. And what's it called when you die? That's called death tax, right? So on average, the average W-2 wage earner in America will pay 51% of their income in taxes. You may think, well, 51%, that's more than 50%, Adam. Then if that's number two, then what's number one? And that's a really good question. Your number one biggest expense that you'll ever have in life is ignorance. Ignorance. Let's say that you're a relatively high wage earner in America and you earned $80,000 last year. Well, if you didn't have the knowledge on how to make $1 million, well then last year, this cost you $920,000 for not knowing how to make $1 million. That means that this year it's going to cost you another $920,000, and next year it's going to cost you another $920,000, and it's going to continue to cost you $920,000 until you learn how to make $1 million. Now, we've already shown you a plan that over time you could grow and you could continue to, grow your wealth into a point where it becomes $1 million or more, right? But we want to help you with your second biggest expense ever too, which is taxes. So one of the questions people ask is, when I start making money with trading, well, how do I actually get taxed? And so we created this little thing called Tax Secrets for Traders. It's a little ebook that'll walk you through everything that you need to know about taxes. It's really, really simple. We partnered with the biggest tax firm in the world for traders specifically that will also give you a 15-minute consultation. So if you have any questions, you can ask them as well. Okay? One more special bonus, when you get started in the next 48 hours only, it's called the Millionaire Trader Series. I have several friends of mine that are multi-million-dollar self-made traders, okay? And I sat down with each of them for lunch, and one of the things that I wanted to know at the end is I always ask them, like, what books would you recommend me reading in order to become a successful trader? And there's always these 3 books that continue to pop up time after time after time. And so what I did was I bought the books for you, and I went and I devoured the books, studied them like crazy, and I put together a 10 to 20 minute summary on each one of these books. So that way, in the matter of 10 to 20 minutes, you can learn pretty much the most important things in 3 of the most popular and most world-renowned trading books that are out there. And it said that you can become an expert if you just read 3 books on a subject. So literally in the matter of an hour or so, you could become an expert in trading and have insight that 95% of the world doesn't have. So can you imagine how much of an edge just this alone is going to give you? Probably, right? So here's everything that you're going to get. The Edge Trading Academy, you're going to get Titan for free. You're going to get the VPS for free. You're going to get the Tax Secrets for Traders and the Millionaire Trader Series. You're going to get this as a total value of $1,215, and you can get it for only $147 today, okay? So all you got to do is click the button below. You're going to get everything that you see listed on the screen here above. And some of the common question is that we get with this is, what's the minimum that I could start with? That's completely up to you. Most of our successful clients start with $500 or $1,000, okay? Are there any additional costs? No, you'd have to pay for a VPS, but we've actually bought that for you as well. Can you cancel at any time? Yes, you can cancel at any time that you're not completely over the moon about this. We have live chat support on our website. Just write them a little message, or you can cancel inside of your account and they'll be able to cancel it for you immediately. Look, we don't want your money if you're not completely happy, right? What kind of computer do you need? You can use any sort of computer. The VPS is set up in the cloud, so it doesn't matter. You can even do this on the phone. Does this work outside the US? Yes, it does. What if I need help setting this up? That's awesome. We have 24/7 live chat support that'll be able to help you set everything up if you have questions. Now, the cool part about this is you can get this entire system for free. I told you it's $147 per month, but we also have this referral program where if you refer a client to us, we'll pay you 35% of the $147 per month. So about $51 or so on every transaction that you'll get paid month after month. And if you refer just 100 active Blue Edge Financial members, then we'll actually even cover the payments on a new Tesla for you. How cool is that, right? So here's everything that you're going to get started. Just go ahead, click the button here below. You're going to get everything. The Edge Trading Academy. Okay, you're going to get the Titan software for free. You're going to get the VPS. You're going to get the Tax Secrets for Traders and the Millionaire Trader Series. Again, for only $147 right now. And again, you can cancel at any time. You can get your money back within 29 days and 59 hours and 59 minutes. Just let us know and we'll happily refund your money if you're not completely stoked. So go ahead, click the button right now, going over to bluedgefinancial.com. If you have any other additional questions, you can message our live chat support, and we look so forward to serving you and helping you prosper.